По-перше, для нас дуже важливо, що тут
First of all, it is very important for us that the press is here. There are journalists, and this is the most important thing. We really want you to show the world what was happening here, what the Russian military was doing, what the Russian Federation was doing in peaceful Ukraine. It is also very important for us that you see that this civilian population, which today, what we see is fighting for every person, is receiving, living without electricity, without water. Nevertheless, they have repulsed the Russian occupiers. There is no difference between the people and the government. You see that there are government officials in many cities of our state. They were abducted and unfortunately also killed. Local government is here with us today, and it also has been and continues to be at war with the Russian Federation. To understand what kind of people live in our country, I think you need to talk to them. I should not answer for them, but today there were people who received humanitarian aid, and they had a question about whether we can help with food for homeless animals. This can basically characterize, I think, our people who treat all God's creatures as humans. And what you see around you, what has been done to this modern town, is a characteristic of the Russian military, who treated humans worse than animals. These are war crimes, and it will be recognized by the world as genocide. The fact that you are here today and you can see what happened. We know thousands of people killed and tortured, with severed limbs, raped women, murdered children. I think it's more than... This is a genocide, yes. Our delegations have met in Turkey. So far there has been one meeting of foreign ministers. Something did not work out during their meeting, and it is understandable why. I will tell you that the longer the Russian Federation delays the meeting process, the worse it will be for them and basically for this situation and for this war. Because every day when our troops enter and deoccupy certain territories, you see what's happening. It is very difficult to talk when you see what they have done here. And every day you understand there are people in barrels, in cellars, strangled and simply tortured. Therefore, I believe that they need, if there is anything to think about, then they need to think faster.
You said you were inviting Angela Merkel here. Why did you say that?
Я думаю, что она мой сигнал прекрасно.
Well, because I think she heard my signal perfectly well. And not just her, I also addressed it to the leaders of Europe and Mr. Sarkozy, who, as we know, made important decisions, or let's say, were influenced by the Russian Federation and some other leaders, but above all by the Russian Federation and, I think, by the internal establishment as well, when they were making decisions about Ukraine. This whole story is an insinuation about an open door to NATO, when we know that most European states and NATO members supported Ukraine as a member of the alliance back then, in Bucharest. And we know very well who those leaders were, and I believe that Angela is among those leaders of the leading countries on whom the decision whether Ukraine should be a member of NATO depended. So I think what's happening is exactly a giveaway game to the Russian Federation, to give them the opportunity to strengthen and to feel that they actually have a very strong influence on the opinion of the European Union, of many countries. So I think they need to come and see what the flirting with the Russian Federation is turning into. So that's it. I believe that in any case, there will definitely be peace on the territory of Ukraine. Ukraine cannot live in war, because we are in Europe, we are in the 21st century, and we strive for peace and we deserve it. And this nation has shown it, and the armed forces of Ukraine have shown it. So there must be peace in our country. There cannot be peace without victory. Victory can be in a diplomatic format, in parallel with the combat steps of our army. Combat steps our army demonstrates every day, but it is not easy. We don't want to lose millions of people, so there has to be some sort of dialogue. And I think we can't even consider the possibility with you that we allow to say that something will not be enough this time for Europe or for the world, not enough to punish the criminals. I don't consider that option. We are not going to give 1% for that. It is not a situation right now with this or that alliance. It is about life and about people being killed, tortured. The evidences of this are a million. So all these stories that let's wait until there is a trial, which will be very slow. We will press on as publicly as we can. We will not make any pause to find all the criminals. And from that will basically benefit, I think, the civilization. Because if we don't find a civilized way out of this, you know our people, they will find an uncivilized way out.